Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones, back with a new man law video, no carelessness. If you get any of you guys out there who have seen The Godfather, I want to bring you back to a scene that was very poignant. It was when the retired Don and his son Michael they were sitting on a bench discussing affairs, and Michael, Michael's trying to figure out, what's on his dad's mind, and the father, and retired Don said, uh, I worked my whole life not being careless. Women and children can be careless, men cannot. And it's a bold but true statement, because men have always been held to a different standard than women have. Are there double standards? Yes, and I'll explain why. Men have always taken on certain tasks um, that have required them to really use their head, really have control of their emotions, to really see what's around the corner, to really, to make it's like playing chess. You gotta be, three or four moves ahead. You gotta know what's your, the challenge in front of you and how to tackle it. And you gotta be precise. You gotta be, you gotta have tenacity when it comes to trying to, finding a solution, and also leading men to follow you. And that requires not being careless. As we know in the film, Don Corleone, when Vito Corleone was still a Don, a lot of men looked up to him. He had to make a lot of decisions that were pretty calculated. There was one scene, although I always thought it was pretty cool, when he was speaking to the Turk, and the Turk was trying to get him into the drug business. And he said, he said this business, with drugs is different from, gambling, or, booze, or even with women. He says, it's very dirty stuff, it's very dangerous. And the Turks interpreted that as being, worried about protection, worried about not having the right muscle um, for that kind of business. And Sonny blurted out something about, if they're worried about us not having the muscle that we need. And his father, cut him off and then gave him this look. And he explained that, sorry, I spoil I love my children dearly. Sometimes I spoil them. Sometimes they talk when they should listen. And what he was saying was, you're being careless right now. You cannot be telling people all this information. You can't be letting your feelings get the best of you, because Sonny was a hothead. And it eventually led to his downfall, because it was used against him. And also led to Luca Brasi being killed when he was doing an investigation as to what the Turk was trying to, what he had planned. And it led to the Don being shot. That's why Michael, who was much smarter, more cunning, and more, much wiser than his brothers, that's why he was in line to take over for the family. Even though the Don didn't want that for him, he had those qualities. In today's world, it seems like it may come off as that men are not well, no, actually, it's pretty explicit that men are not appreciated. If you look at, how leaders are being treated, and how fatherhood is seen as a joke, how he's not taken as seriously, and how everything seems to be catering toward women. Everything seems to be elevating women. Um, and and to me it's very foolhardy. They have a lot of elements of society have not fully understood that it needs men in order to stay afloat. It needs men to do the dirty work that is not capable of doing. Um, and by letting and let's face it, we do let double standards fly, because we know that there's something greater at stake. I did a video a while back when there was that women's strike, and I said it was a complete joke, because I think it's, a woman, no women for a day. I mean, could they really do it for the long haul? I said, if you try let's try, not having men do their jobs for a day, and watch how all this fall apart. Because many of the jobs that men undertake require that they not be careless, require that they pay close attention to what they're doing. I saw some statistics on Reddit. It talked about The most dangerous, like most deadly jobs. Fallers, which is a technical term for for men who cut down for men who cut down trees, they have the highest rate of death, followed by fishermen, farmers, commercial divers, things like that. Those tend to be, and those seem to be those tend to be more so male dominated areas because you cannot be careless. um, you cannot let your emotions get the best of you. Even and at times you can't even let pain get the best of you. You got to work through it. I remember I was last week. I was doing this. I was working on my truck, and I had to work on. I never done ball joints before, and so I had to rent a tool. And it turns out the tool doesn't really work, on my steering system. So I had to come up with another one, and I started. It came down to me using a pipe and a 3 pound mallet. And actually, here's the mallet right here. There's a mallet right here. Again, I got to do it again for my driver's side. I got my passenger side finished, and I had to hammer this. I had to hammer these things out and then hammer them in, and it was a pain in the ass. It was. I was tired. I was sweating. It was it was no joke. But I got it done, and I got to do it again. Hopefully this week to finish the work on my steering. But there was a lot of pain involved. I hit my hand at one point. It was exhaustive work, but I had to do it. And I could not be careless because I knew that if I was careless and I screwed something up, I ruined my steering knuckle, I damaged something, I'm in hot water because now my truck's jacked up and I can't move anywhere. So, but there have always been times. I'm pretty sure any viewers who are any male viewers up into in their I guess say maybe their late 40s, early 50s, or beyond, they've experienced things in their life that showed that it would have gone a whole lot better if they were not careless. I'm 28, and I've experienced many things that required me to not be careless. And I've been careless a few times, but I did not make it a habit because, well, for one, it's counterproductive, as a man to be careless. And two, my reputation depends upon me not being careless because I want people to see that I actually am dependable. Even when I make mistakes, that I can still be someone they can call on for help. And men have always looked at that as being a quality to look for in other men. Are they careless? Do they take unnecessary risk? Do they have sound judgment? Can they come up with a reason as to why they did something? Do they produce results? Are they do they conduct themselves in a manner that's worthy of following, worthy of or following behind, worthy of seen as being qualities that make them a good leader? You can't be careless. And it's true, yeah. Women are held to a different standard, and that's fine. I wouldn't begrudge many women to do a lot of things they do currently, whether it be outside of the capabilities, or it's just flat out not in their interest, and that's okay. To say one example of not being careless. Taking a reference from The Walking Dead. The character Rick. He's someone who has made mistakes, but he's not careless in the sense that he doesn't take into consideration everything that a lot of things that's going around him, because he's looking out for the best interest of the people who follows him, and he continues to do so, even at times taking a lot of risk upon himself, put himself in harm's way in order to do that. But there are those who will do it for him because they recognize that he's a good leader, and they see that he's not someone who's flat out careless. He's not someone who just make decisions willy nilly. But please share your thoughts. Do you have any great examples, like in media or in real life, of men who are not careless? Men who say that example, who share the quality of really thinking things through. I'd love to read your responses. I'm making a video response I can watch. If you're new to the channel, please look out for more man law videos. It's an interest of mine, and I just want to help set things straight with a lot of behavior that's going on in society, especially dealing with the way a lot of men or lack thereof are behaving. um, you got any gripes, complaints? Send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address it. If you think I'm a sexist pig, oh well. Just let it be known in the comment section, and make your word be heard. But that's my video. It's another man law video. No carelessness. I'm Edward Jones. Thanks for watching.